So I'm out here sitting in the cold to talk to everyone about an ongoing issue we have here in the city of St. Louis as a whole, St. Louis City, St. Louis County. And that issue to me is people who are living without homes, living without four walls and a roof, and we go on about our day. We're talking about people who just need adequate, quality shelter, people who deserve a safe place to sleep, a safe place to be. And this is absolutely disturbing for me. Right now, it's freezing outside. I think we're in the teens. But I'm sitting here for a purpose. This particular spot, I'm sitting here in front of the only emergency shelter that was operating here in St. Louis for quite a while. I'm sitting here because this particular bench, this spot means a lot to me. Because at one point I was homeless myself. And I was homeless with two small children. We were living out of a vehicle. And we would move that vehicle around the city at night, just trying to find a place where no one would stop us, where we could continue to just try to have some normalcy and try to feel safe, even though we had no doors to go into other than the car doors. I remember at one point sitting on a bench. Now, I was working at the time. I was working and didn't have a home. And so I remember one particular day, I sat on a bench. I had on my work clothes, so I had on my multicolored blouse. I looked real business-like. My multicolored blouse and my dark colored slacks and my shoes. And I was sitting on this bench and I just kept wondering, how did I get here? I mean, I was pondering what happened in my life? How did I end up in this spot? And how long will I be here? When do I come out? So this means a lot to me because this reminds me of me. A few years back, we had a sleep out right here in this area. A sleep out to try to raise some awareness about the homelessness issue, about our unhoused community. And when I think back to that night, I was traumatized from that night, and I have to tell the truth, I was traumatized. And the reason why, when I was unhoused, I at least had my vehicle. And so I wouldn't go to a shelter. So I wouldn't come to this particular place or any other shelter because I felt like at least I have a car. At least I have a place to go. Some have nothing. So I'm not going to go and take away from someone who has nothing. But that night, I didn't have a place to go into. We were sleeping on the street. It was cold. It was raining. Gunshots rang out. And as a survivor of domestic abuse, a survivor of sexual assault, a recent survivor, being out here on the street, just feeling so unprotected, it was traumatic for me. And I just remember it took me back to those days when I was unhoused, thinking all I wanted to do was see daybreak. I remember it was like the night went on forever. I just wanted to see the lights come on outside, and so it took me back to that place. I also think about our furloughed federal workers who can find they may be finding themselves in that position right now. We just don't know. You never know what can happen in your life to allow you to end up in that place. How do you prepare for that? Especially when you're just trying to get through your everyday life. It can be easy to find yourself there. As a matter of fact, just recently, just a few months back, I almost found myself in that place. Not too long after my election, I ended up with an eviction notice on my door because I had been off work from a car accident, and then I no longer had a job right after the primary. And so for me, and you may say, well, why is she telling us her personal business that she almost got evicted? Because there are people in this district, that's what life is like. And so I don't mind being vulnerable and being transparent because that's how we grow and that's how people get helped. So to walk around like everything is great and my life has been peaches and cream won't help anybody. You know, I can understand people's stories. They wanted to take my car and my home. But I was able to, the money came in. I was able to keep the home just a few days outside of them taking it. But just how easy that day came. One day I'm running for Congress and the next day I'm about to lose my home. I also think about how People have been talking about people losing their food stamps, those benefits being cut for a while, and WIC. I remember I was on WIC. I was a recipient of food stamp benefits. I had a job. I became pregnant. I had hyperemesis gravidarum, so I could no longer work. I had to quit my job. I couldn't even stand up straight half the time. I found myself in a place that I didn't expect to ever be. So I had to go on food stamps. Once my child was born, I had to get WIC because I didn't have a way to provide. The same thing happened with my daughter. I had to have those benefits. Those benefits were there to help. And this is the thing. I remember it was almost like Christmas every single time that day came for those benefits to be released. And now we have people who are wondering what's going to happen. I understand what that's like. And so my heart goes out to them, and we have to do something. We can't just allow this. I remember I finally went back to work, and I was making $9 an hour. So I went from food stamps and WIC. Oh yes, I'm doing a little bit better, going back to work. And then, hey, I still can't afford daycare. I still can't afford health insurance, and I still can't afford my children's formula. But we're talking about what happens in our community right now that we aren't paying enough attention to, that people that aren't living this don't have to necessarily worry about. Well, I understand that struggle. I understand what it's like to work every day and not earn a living wage. We need to work on the racial equity issue in our community as it relates to housing and development, government, law enforcement, education. We know it's missing. We know it's a problem. Somebody has to do something about it. There are great people doing work, even in our dealing with the unhoused crisis that we have right now. There are amazing people doing work, but there can be so many more. We need racial equity in healthcare. I think back to my own struggle where I almost lost both of my children because in both of those situations, I have 4 stories actually, but both of those situations, doctors flagged me off when I said, hey, something is wrong. And both times, I ended up almost losing my children. Actual death, had it not been for someone's intervening. Because that is the issue with some physicians, that they don't listen to Black women. That is something that we know. So we have to do something about that. We have to fight the discrimination that's happening in our communities. We have to support our LGBT community. We know that they are being targeted right now, just like our immigrant community. We have to be able to stand for one another. If it doesn't affect you, that means that you're in a position to help someone else. I believe some of the things that I'm talking about, we simply don't have because we don't have anybody, we don't have enough people with that heart to care about those issues, to push them forward. People that have been in those situations to really help these issues and center everyday people. We have to center the everyday person. That's why I've made the decision that it's time for me to step up and run again. So with that, I'm going to be running again for U.S. Congress in Missouri's 1st District for 2020. I'm doing that because the mission isn't over. So you want to know why am I running and why the heck would I go ahead and announce this early? First, let me say, because I know there will be some criticism about me announcing this early. I'm announcing this early simply because we have to make sure that we knock the doors. We have to make sure that we raise the money to be able to be successful. It's very difficult to raise money as a Black woman in this society. It just is. And I just have to be real about it. It's difficult. It's difficult. And my base, I can't go to my friends and go to my coworkers and say, hey, they're not attorneys, they're not doctors. They can't give the maximum just because I asked. My folks have $7. My folks have 10. My folks have 3. My folks have 50. That's what my folks have. And so we got to start early. I'm running because the people of St. Louis still need resources for our unhoused population. We still need a livable wage. We still need affordable, quality, available health insurance. We still need racial equity. We still need reform to our justice system. We still have so many things that we don't have simply because maybe nobody is pushing hard enough. Well, I'm a fighter, and you know I'll push. You know I'll push, I'll be loud, and I'll use my voice and every other platform I have. I'm running to represent the people of our district, the working families of our district, the children of our district, because I am those things. I stand because I am all of those things. I stand before you as a representative of all the great and the fragile, all the grand and the small, all the brave and the fearful, all of the individuals of the 1st District, because the people of St. Louis still need that very present representative that represents them. I'm Cori Bush, and so once again, you will see the purple. You will see the purple. We're going to be out to represent you. Thank you so much. If you have questions, we got folks. If you have questions, you can reach us. Our website is Cori Bush. Well, our website is coribush.org. CORIBUSH.org. It's BUSH. Remember, it's the one. It's like George and Jeb, but I'm not part of the family. And if you need to send us an email, you can get us at info@coribush.org or Cori@coribush.org. Our Facebook page, our Twitter page, our Instagram, all of us Cori Bush. Reach out to us. We're looking for quite a few great folks. We have some amazing positions that are open. We're looking for you to come and join us. Some of our stuff will still say 2018 because we didn't let go, because we're still running. You know, we're using every dime we have. We're making use of it. So, but we're coming back out strong. So come on and join us. There is plenty of room. We're ready to get going. And some have said to me, Cori, you should be afraid because you're announcing so early. I'm not afraid of what an opponent or what anyone else that may be in this race would do to me, or try to slander my name or discredit me or anything like that. I'm not afraid of that. I'm more afraid of you not getting what you need. So we're coming forward. Stand with us, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you all so much. Cori Bush.